All right, it's 6:01. I don't see Adam. I know that he is going to be here tonight because he still has that conflict with his class. But I don't see Adam. I could try giving him a call and see if he's coming real quick. Because that's who would normally lead them because he's the vice chair. And I guess if he's not here, then we'll go ahead and hand it off to Bob. You're on mute.
I gotta take minutes, but I'd be happy to.
Okay. I'll quickly give a call over to Adam just to see if he's planning on jumping on tonight or if there's a problem. And then we'll
Sarah,
yeah.
Sorry, it's to let you know, I heard from Melanie or Melissa Miller, not Melanie.
Yeah.
She's in the hospital, so she won't be here tonight.
Okay. Well, I hope everything's okay there. Thanks for letting us know.
You bet.
Jenny's here, Patrick's here, Joanna, Bob, Megan, Mr. Hanson, and myself. Okay. Well, Bob, if you want to take a minute, and if we want to go ahead and start anyway, I can still just go ahead and give a call to Adam.
Okay, let me pull up the minutes from last month. Check.
So was everybody able to see the minutes? No for Megan. They should be in
Yes,
that.
I could. This is Joanna. I could see them through that link that you sent.
Okay. And Bob, you and I sometimes should just meet really quick to figure out all the little tiny logistics of Teams so that we can make sure that like you can start a conversation with it. You did a pretty good job last time, but then I think we're using that same document to update and it's auto saving before we save it as the new document.
Okay.
So I had to just go back and put it back to the old version of it, but it'd be a quick conversation between us sometime.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, go ahead and start. I'm going to call Adam.
Okay. The last month minutes, the meeting was held on November 5th. And let's see, are there any changes to the minutes? We welcome Megan Morris as the new council member. And then we had Jenny talk about the walkthrough and of school, and everything was pretty positive on that. And then we talked about tabling for the next minute, possibly discussing a day and time change for this meeting we'll talk about. And then Mr. Hanson and Jennifer Clough presented the math goals for 2020-21. Then Adam asked if we can have a follow-up on the prior year's reading goals to see if any improvements being made. And then the council improvement plans for future meetings will be discussed during future meetings as data is provided. Is there any changes to those meetings minutes?
I don't think so. I just had a clarifying question on, there was a section on the bottom there where Adam suggested, it was about the walkthroughs, having a walkthrough earlier than the spring. I just want to make sure that we're doing our part on that. So
right.
As far as I can remember, it was if anyone is interested in going through before the springtime, that we will definitely facilitate that and just to reach out to us. Otherwise, we will set a date where everybody can come in the spring. Is that what that was, or am I recalling?
Yeah, that sounds right, Sarah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Well, I motion to approve the minutes. Oh, there's Adam. I didn't even have to call him. Yay.
Okay.
I second it.
Thank you, Megan.
Okay, thanks, Megan. Okay, let me pull up.
Hey, Adam.
Is Adam on?
He is.
Hey, I'll turn it over to him then.
Hey, Adam.
Hey,
He's
Adam.
not here because of the class conflict again.
Okay.
So we'll just kind of follow through. I know Dan and I have a lot of things that are on there, are just things that Dan and I want to loop you guys in on. So Bob was doing a great job. We reviewed minutes and approved, and
Oh, good.
so we're ready for that next piece. If you
Let
want to pull
me
this up.
try and find the agenda here. Sorry, it's a minute late. I didn't realize it was tonight.
You're good, not a problem.
Find it there, Adam.
Yeah, I just found the link here.
Adam, while you're finding that, this is Joanna. I got the cutest email from Cole the other day. I need to email him back. But I
Oh,
haven't
really?
forgotten. Let him know I haven't forgotten him.
Okay, sounds good. In the
And you just have the CC agenda 2020-12-13 draft. It's underneath the files folders.
oh, okay. I went to some personalized learning site.
Yeah, you probably should look on files.
I see fiscal year 21. Is it in that folder?
Adam, it's actually in the channel, the discussion channel. So I think you're in the
There we go.
channel.
There
And
we
then
go.
I think the link is there just above where I posted the draft minutes.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
Okay, so we have approved the minutes from the previous meeting. So now it is the Summit Learning intro and video. Who's leading this one?
Dan Hansen is going
Yep.
to tell you a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
So I can just go ahead and, because the link is in the chat, right? So just go ahead and share my screen. And let's see, is in the discussion. Let's see, where did I throw it, Sarah? Was it in the general?
It's actually in the general, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? It was, yes, I think it's in the general above this.
Right here?
No more.
Oh, there it is. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about this program. This is a program that is in, I want to say 10 schools within the Davis School District. And I recently went to a meeting in the beginning of November, I want to say, and to talk to people, or talk to schools that might be interested in learning and applying for this program. So I thought that because I was interested in it, that I would share it with Community Council. I've had the opportunity to go to a training on this in August of this year, and I've also went to another training in November. Is anybody familiar with this program or has heard of the program?
Sorry, I'm just going to insert that we can't see the link that you opened because you're just sharing Teams right now. So you'll have to maybe unshare and change it to sharing the link.
Got it. Thanks for letting me know. Now can everybody see the link?
Yeah, we see Learners for Life.
Okay,
Learning.
great. So essentially, this is a program that is it is a learning management system, much like Canvas. Components of it are standards-based grading or mastery-based grading. A few of the cool things about this program is that the level of specificity that it tracks standards for kids is super specific. So teachers can know specifically what standards students have mastered and what they haven't with the program, because all of our standards that we're supposed to teach children are built into the program. It has a pacing line that follows students throughout the year, so parents can know if their child is on track to master the standards in the curriculum during the year. It also keeps track of what resources students are utilizing to learn. And then it's also formative data for the teacher to help the teacher provide targeted instruction to students. These are just a couple of videos, although they don't show a video of the user interface. And I guess I'm trying to, let's see if I do know that I can give you the names of specific schools in the Davis School District that are using it, and that I had our teachers participate in a training, well, not a training, basically in an introduction to the program. And Joanna, do you want to hop on and let us know your thoughts as you listen to Mercy talk about Summit?
Sure. When I first heard about Summit, I was kind of concerned as a teacher, because one of my favorite things to do as a teacher is to write and develop curriculum. And so I was like, oh no, is this just going to be scripted and placed in front of me, and I have to teach, this novel or these things and in a certain way. And although it's right there for you to use as a teacher, you have complete freedom to make changes to the resources and strategies and things like that. The standards are the same, because we have grade level standards that we teach in each grade, but it does allow for a lot of flexibility for teachers. So when Mercy came in and spoke with us, she answered all of the questions or concerns that I had about it as a teacher. I think for teachers who are new to the whole standards-based grading or mastery-based grading, this will really help them with some of the overwhelmed feelings they have as they try to personalize learning and target specific things for specific students. So it'll simplify that process. I love the mentoring. Dan, I don't know if you're going to talk about that, the mentoring part of it. Do you want me to talk about that, or you talk about that?
Sure, you go for it.
Okay, so students, so if this is done at a high school, let's see, in Davis is 10 through 12 here. I've been in so many districts. The whole time that students are doing Summit learning at a site, they have a mentor within the building that they check in with daily. So they have all their academic classes and academic teachers, but then they also have an adult in the building that is their mentor that helps with just keeping them on track, almost like a homeroom or a home base. And that mentor stays with them for the whole time they're in that building. So 10th, 11th, 12th grade. So if we started using this at King, say in like 4th through 6th grade or 5th and 6th grade, I might be mentoring students that are in 4th and 5th, not just my own 6th grade students. So there's that long-term relationship that's being built there. What else do you want to talk about?
Sorry, I wanted to just add really quickly that we do have some of our secondary schools already doing this, and I know that Mr. Hansen has reached out to the secondary schools that we feed into, and they're looking at considering this program. And one of the big things that Mercy said from Farmington that's been really cool is watching them year after year, right? The first year they're getting into it and they're teaching them, but the second year they really know what they're doing, and everybody's at their own pace and going along in that way, kind of, right? But how awesome it would be if we were able to do this here on the elementary level, and then these students that we have here, as they feed into Central Davis, if they're also using that program, and then in the high school, obviously. And I think with or without the alignment of the secondary schools, I think the program looks awesome as far as standards-based and doing kind of that mastery concept of that. I think it looks awesome.
Sarah, another thing that I was impressed with, and I don't have the papers here in front of me. I let Mrs. Allen borrow them because she was unable to come to that meeting, but the cognitive skills that it focuses on, and how Mercy talked about these kids becoming, I mean, they're guided by the teachers, but the kids are becoming self-directed. They are understanding for themselves what they do and don't understand, or what parts of a standard they've mastered and what parts they still need to focus on. Just the life skills that this program has helped these kids develop really impressed me.
So
Yeah, that's it. Oh, go ahead, Adam. I was going to say that's it. Go ahead.
if you got something, go.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's another part of the program that I'm impressed with, is as we move towards personalizing the learning of our students and kind of a renewed emphasis on 21st century learning skills, not just, academics, but this is a program, that focuses on developing critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, communication with their students. And then also it has a SEL component too. So in developing character. And so that's an aspect that I like. But as far as specific data goes, the specific data that they've collected on the program shows that it is that schools that are using Summit Learning are seeing very high achievement, growth patterns with students. And so that's something that's really exciting, which is why each year that the district has, since the district has kind of featured Farmington High and Farmington Elementary, that more and more schools are looking at utilizing this program.
What does SEL stand for? Use an acronym in there.
So yeah, social emotional learning. And so our current program here at King is Second Step that we purchased with school improvement money last year. And so every school either has Second Step, or Sanford Harmony has another program. So in the Davis School District now, every school should have a SEL curriculum that the teachers are implementing in the classrooms. But this particular learning management system has an SEL, part of the program built into it.
So this would be a replacement to Second Step.
I mean, the problem that we have is that this program is actually only a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade program. It doesn't go lower than that. So, if we were to look at, and just so that we're clear too, Canvas, so in a secondary school, at a junior high or a high school, they would use both Canvas and Summit Learning. So they use them depending on the course that the child is taking. But because in elementary, we don't necessarily have like elective courses, we just have the one teacher. I'm pretty sure that Summit Learning would be the predominant learning management system software that we would be looking at using. And so part of my thought process here is that as I'm talking to administrators and looking at data, administrators are saying positive things, the data is saying positive things, and I know that the district has recently moved to Canvas as a learning management system for the entire school district. However, if we are going to be considering Summit, I would much rather look at it now than have our community get used to Canvas for several years and then try to make a switch at that point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So with the self-directed angle from this, is one of the challenges potentially you have, 20 different students in the class all kind of focusing on 20 different angles. Does that not become pretty challenging from a curriculum standpoint?
Well, trying to meet the needs of all of our learners in the classroom is definitely the toughest thing, for a teacher to do. But what we're finding is changing our instructional pedagogy is important. So when teachers teach in the old way, when they stand up in front of the classroom and try to teach everybody at the same time, that doesn't really facilitate well for meeting the needs of each individual learner. So that's one aspect that I think we're focusing on at King, is changing the instructional pedagogy. But the other thing that's important to note is that without technology as a tool, I think that teachers would have a very difficult time, personalizing the learning for kids. So we need teachers to be smart about how they teach, but we also have to leverage the power of technology to help in the personalization of the learning for kids.
And so
Adam, I was just going to say, as a teacher that's been working for the last few years on becoming more personalized in my classroom and, pre-assessments and formative assessments, and having my kids that already have mastered the standard moving on to the next one, and ones that haven't are back here working on this one. Everybody's working at a different pace anyway, and working on different things at the same time. And I mean, it is a ton of prep and planning, and you know your students really well, and that's great. But having a tool like this that can aid or support in figuring out where kids are and helping them be challenged at their level all at the same time, just that extra support would actually simplify things a lot for teachers.
Cool. Yeah, that's really helpful. So it's not just an assessment tool like a self-direction tool for kids to make goals, but it actually also provides curriculum. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right, but then the teacher can adapt to,
Yep.
like Joanna was saying, she was worried that it was just going to be a one and done, there it is, but teachers can mold that to fit their classroom best and the needs of their learners. And I think that that's important to know. And that I just would remind people that it's not a computer adaptive software. We sometimes talk about computer adaptive softwares where students participate in an assessment and then it gives them things based on their level. It's not that.
It's a learning management system. It's, the best, and Canvas is a learning management system, but there's a lot of different components to Summit Learning that, in my opinion, are better than Canvas. And so, because of its ability to track with specificity, the standards that kids have mastered and things like that, that's what I think is a major draw to the program, and how clearly it communicates to both students and parents, where a child is at and what they've mastered. And so I forgot to mention that it's also, South Clearfield is also piloting Summit Learning this year, 6th grade. Robbie Kinghorn's the principal over there. So right now it's in 2 schools. So Farmington Elementary, it's a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And South Clearfield, it's just 6th grade. one school did all 3 grades, and other schools choose to just opt a grade level at a time in. This is a program that we would have to apply for. I think that right now, 6th and 5th grade teachers are interested in it. We're still trying to do some more training and get some more information from these other schools that have been implementing it on an elementary level. The training that we've had so far has been from secondary. But I am just going to say that probably in the interest of time, I don't know that I want to show any videos or anything, but this is the website, that we're putting up here, summitlearning.org.
And it's posted in the general channel of our team. If you scroll up, it was posted a while ago. So if you'll scroll up a little ways, you can find it there. Yeah. Sorry, Patrick, did you have something to say?
So yeah, I actually went and saw this in action in 6th grade. And sorry to be the Debbie Downer, but I wasn't impressed with it. First of all, if your kid does not have self-regulating, being self-motivated to learn, I saw that it was a failure, straight up. So that's what I saw. The teacher has to be on that case, which is going to be really hard for the teacher, which I saw, looking at everything and then trying to teach those different lessons, like in math in the same time, like maybe 10 different lessons. I saw students that were just like off doing their own thing because they're not self-regulated. They need someone to help them stay on track. So there's things like that I've seen. Yes, the slides and everything, they're going to show great things. I've worked with Robbie Kinghorn. He was my principal for a long time. And I'll tell you, it's not all fun and games. And if you're a classroom that your class needs that guidance, that one-on-one, or not one-on-one, but more the in-person, this is not it for you. If your kid needs in-person direction, the Summit Learning is not for your kid. That's what I saw. Now, there's great components. If your kid does great by themselves, they can log in, they can do all their work, they understand, yeah, that would work. But I know a lot of kids, they need that instruction from the teacher and with their peers, which I didn't see that with this program. So that's what I saw. So just because I felt like it was being all, oh, this is all beautiful and wonderful, but we got to see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing that perspective. I do think it's
important to have,
yeah.
So if you're going to do Canvas, I think Canvas is so much better because you can do the same material, you can see where they're at, and they can still communicate and go, where they're not going to be on the same level, and they're not going to be able to talk to their peers until that person comes up to their level. So the communication, I just see it gone. I see it as not really interactive at all.
So Patrick, just curious, was the place that you observed it at, was that at South Clearfield?
No, that was Farmington, actually.
Oh, at Farmington?
Yeah,
okay.
And I went with other 6th grade teachers, and we weren't impressed with it. So we said, so that's what I saw. I'll let you guys do with that information as you want, but
I think that's good information. Well, some of the feedback that we got back when we had Mercy come and, oh, actually it wasn't from Mercy, it was from some Carol Neff, right, was saying that it is a heavy lift teacher for teachers and the training and learning the program for teachers and how to best manage that in their classrooms. So I think that having the perspective that Patrick has shared is important as we go forward and we continue to investigate this. We talk with our teachers about it because
there's going to be a lot of homework that goes home. I saw that. And if the parents aren't on board and helping their kids, if they have 3 kids, maybe one in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, the parents aren't going to be able to support that. That's what I'm seeing.
Patrick, were you observing when students were there and you saw kids working with it?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Oh yeah. We spent a couple hours there watching, and different classrooms in that school.
And so we are planning on having our teachers go and observe. Is that right, Dan? And also meet with other teachers who are using it currently to kind of do the same sort of thing that you had that experience of, to gather their information or gather their perception of it, right? When they're in there and see how that's functioning. Right, Dan?
Right. That's what we're planning on doing. I mean, and just to, Patrick, I appreciate your perspective and sharing your thoughts. And to clarify again, was it Farmington Elementary or was it Farmington High that you went and observed?
Farmington Elementary.
Okay.
Because I don't care about junior high. I care about teaching elementary where I'm at.
Sure. So
I think elementary school kids need that person there helping them learn instead of a computer.
right.
Really.
And so that's kind of that's a big thing that I wanted to talk about, is because when I was talking earlier about personalized learning, and I mentioned that instructional pedagogy is what we're shifting to, right, with using technology as a tool, in my mind, I have the same feelings that I have for Canvas as I would for, Summit Learning or any other technology tool, is that it is secondary to a shift in the instructional pedagogy, that we want to see
This
in our.
looked like it was becoming primary. That's what
Okay.
I saw, and it wasn't
yeah.
impressive to me.
Okay. And I totally understand that when teachers don't understand the instructional pedagogy shift that needs to occur, I think sometimes they can over rely on technology. But one thing that I was impressed with when Mercy came from Farmington High to provide a training to our teachers, and Joanna, you can pipe up if you want to, but in my opinion, she made many comments that were instructional pedagogy related, about how teachers need to shift how they teach, not necessarily about technology or the program. And I felt like our teachers already have a good conceptual understanding of the pedagogy shifts that they need to make, which I would
realize. I've been in that front running of different ways of teaching. Robbie's been doing that for years, and that's what we've been doing. So it's great. I can see both sides on it.
So I have a couple questions. I understand that this has an SEL component. This would be the third SEL component piece that we'd be putting into place at E.G. King in the last 3 years. Is there a reason that we're looking to move to this when we've just moved our kids over to Canvas? What is the benefit, or what is the benefit we're looking to achieve with this?
So I can answer that quickly. So for me, the benefit of moving, looking at Summit Learning would be, one is that, as in my personal opinion, in comparing both Canvas and Summit Learning, I feel that Summit Learning as a learning management system has some advantages to Canvas, over Canvas, in my opinion. As far as I've looked at both the student view and the teacher view in being able to track what students are learning and how to help them and how to provide the direct instruction. So in my opinion, that's a step up. I don't know that, I like Second Step. That's why we purchased it, to be, and I believe that having a strong social emotional learning program at a school is crucial to helping develop the whole child at our school, not just academics, because I feel like the social emotional learning lays the foundation for academic success of our kids. Summit Learning has, Summit Learning has an SEL program kind of built into it, which just means that it also recognizes the importance of addressing these non-academic skills. I understand that, we just made the switch to Second Step. I haven't compared Second Step and the SEL components to Summit Learning. But I do, I would like to echo that if you have any additional questions about that that reaching out to the two elementary schools that are currently utilizing it, would be a good idea, Farmington Elementary and South Clearfield. But that's probably the only difference there that I could say about the SEL side of things. But I do think that, like Joanna said, that helping a teacher personalize the learning for their students and doing standards-based grading, that this program would help facilitate that in an easier way for teachers. Because to me, Canvas still is not facilitating standards-based grading in the way that I think that Summit Learning can.
I'm fascinated by what Patrick said, because in talking to Mercy when she came, one of the questions that I asked her was when the kids are doing group projects, and I'm going back to academics now, not SEL. But I was like, well, what about, when you go on soft closure, because they've been on soft closure a lot, I think, haven't they, at Farmington? Then are the kids still able to use Teams to have meetings online? And she said, oh yeah, they do their group projects together. They can still do it through Teams, and it's all right there online for them. But also it fascinates me because, man, I just really want to go watch, because I think I don't very often have all of my kids in my class doing the same thing at the same time, because we are trying to personalize. And so, no, they're not all interacting with each other all at the same time, unless we're having a class meeting or a circle up. But they are working with small groups, other kids that are working on the same standard or part of a standard that they are. I would really, now I'm even more interested in seeing how teachers are using it, because I'm wondering if they're not using it. I'm not as nice as Dan about saying this, not using it the way that it's intended. And just, it shouldn't be replacing the teacher, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Right, yeah, and I 100% agree with that. In my opinion, for personalized learning to be effective, that instructional pedagogy is number one, not a program.
So what kind of training would we be allowing for our teachers if we were looking at this? Since this is a brand new layout that we're looking for 4th, 5th, and 6th, is this something, what's in the budget for training? And have we got a commitment from the teachers on those grades to do that?
Right, so as far as money, we would be applying, and I can't remember the exact cost of the program offhand, but I haven't even applied for our school yet. First, I just wanted to talk to teachers and try to gather as much information as possible. So again, in talking to school administrators and looking at school data, they have indicated that with, as far as achievement and growth goes, that they feel like the program is effective and helping kids to grow in that respect. So yeah, this is the application for our school is would be due in January, and that would be if we were going to look at implementing this program the following year. So right now I can say that our teachers that were just still in the gathering information stage, I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention that we were looking at, that I was looking at this program and wanted you guys to maybe take some time to explore it. And I would love to invite you to go to South Clearfield Elementary or to Farmington Elementary to talk with school administration or anything like that. I do know that I think we've been talking on this topic for a while. We have other agenda items, so I'm probably just going to say maybe we need to move on at this point. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up that I was considering it. And part of the other reason too is that, like Sarah had said, if Central Davis starts incorporating it and Layton High School, that it would be beneficial for our kids to be involved as well.
Can I say one thing in response to Megan?
Sure.
Just from a teacher perspective who, went home on March 13th thinking I'd see my students again on the next Monday. I think I can speak for myself and probably most of the 5th and 6th grade teachers that we would welcome any training they give us on this, because we all taught ourselves Canvas in the space of 3 days last March. So yeah, I think we'd be on board for training for sure.
Cool. Really good conversation. So as far as next steps, it's really in the exploratory phase, looking for feedback from parents. And
Yep.
the community council funds would not be funding this if you move forward with it.
Not necessarily. I mean, that's something that we could talk about, but yeah, we just wanted you to be informed about it, to start to learn about it. If you have the opportunity to go to the website, to talk to people about it, we're just trying to include you in the direction that we're moving. As Sarah and I, our goal for King Elementary is to help personalize the learning for every kid and help them achieve, the most that they can to get the best education possible. So we're just trying to keep you guys in the loop on as we're trying to steer the direction of the school.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe we make that an agenda item for next time to just kind of follow up on what, parents have found, if, there's any further thought or anything. So looking at the agenda, conscious it's already, almost 6:45. We've got an agenda item about learner profile, an agenda item about a workshop schedule, and then possibly discussing a day and time change.
I'm just going to jump in really quick, Adam.
Yep.
So the learner profile, I can try to sum up super quick.
Okay.
If you look at my screen, okay, this is a personalized learning screen that is part of the Davis School District. They have tasked community councils with developing these learner profiles. I can be honest that I don't love the name, because typically the term learner profile means that you learn about the student and figure out information about them. This is not what these are. This is who will our future leaders be. So this is what we want them to be, not who the students are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so what they're going to do is they're going to assign our community council one of these areas, and they would like our feedback on what we feel like the skills, the knowledge, the attributes, and the experiences are for students as related to these categories. So we tried to schedule Tyson Grover. He's our STEM director for the school district. He's going to be our facilitator for this. He couldn't make the meeting today, but plan on him being a part of our community council in either January and February, and they'll let us know which one of these we're assigned to.
Okay, so they tell us in one meeting which one we're assigned, and then we come up with suggestions for the following meeting, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we would come up with suggestions on developing those learner profiles for the district.
Okay. So workshop schedule. This is a learning opportunity, not a discussion of action. What is this one about?
So we have been talking with Dee about really meeting more frequently than once a month as a formal community council. So many of you know that school board members, they participate in workshops so that they are well educated and can make informed decisions. And so we want the same thing for our community council members. We know that education is not many of your professions. For some people it is, but so that our community council members have a solid understanding of standards-based grading, personalized learning, social emotional learning, things like that. We would like to do a better job of providing workshops. Oh man, thanks. Sorry, those are my kids.
Good to have some helpers.
Yeah, no, they just ran in and like screamed and then they ran out. I feel like we need to do a better job of really helping our community council understand what these concepts are. I wanted to just show you really quickly. I know I keep going in and out of sharing my screen. Let's see. This is a book that I've been reading, and this is just kind of case in point. Has anybody heard of the Fourth Industrial Revolution? It's actually a term created by an economist, a German economist. His last name is Klaus. And so, oh, right here, not last name, sorry, his first name, Klaus Schwab, is where the term Fourth Industrial Revolution comes from. But this book is a wonderful book that talks about the direction that education is going, that it needs to go, and what kinds of changes we need to make to help our kids, be have a successful education. And so, I would love to buy some of our community council members' books or whatever I can do to try to help in helping, our community council members understand some of the terminology in education, so that when we get talking about our school improvement plan, that, we can have a common frame of reference for where education's going in general.
Yeah, so that one's specifically a book. Klaus Schwab.
Yeah. So, when we're talking about workshops, we're talking about meeting informally as a community council, where we can learn together and grow together so that we can make educated decisions for our kids together.
Yeah, what do people think on this one? Megan, Jenny, Patrick, Bob?
I think it's a great idea.
I'm happy to do that. I just need to make sure that they're scheduled out in advance so we know when they are.
So do we want to try and just schedule at least one right now?
I think that would be great if we could do that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Like, just looking at the list of potential workshops, one of them is SEL, and just, 20 minutes ago I asked what that meant.
Right.
So,
and so it would be
helpful
wonderful
to go through some of these.
You bet. It totally would. And we have a wonderful school counselor in Miss Chittister who could give you a presentation about SEL that'd knock your socks off, and that would also, help give our parents a broader understanding of what that means, which I think that if we can do that along the way, that when we get to talking about school improvement plan, then you guys can keep some of those things that you're learning in the back of your mind.
Okay. So yeah, the list here, school improvement, I think we're all familiar with that. Canvas is the curriculum-based software that we're currently using. SEL is that, what was it, social and emotional learning?
Yep, social emotional learning, nice work.
Yep, and standard, I passed the test. See, I learned something. Give me 100%. Standard-based grading, and then global citizenship. Is there any of those 5 that stand out as something people would want to learn about initially?
I'd be interested in understanding what standard-based grading the Davis County District is using versus what the Common Core is in between the two of those, and how what we're doing today affects tomorrow, obviously, and why we've chosen what we have.
Hey, yeah, I think standards-based, if you're looking for the big 3 that the district is pushing currently, it's personalized learning, which kind of goes hand in hand with standards-based grading a little bit, so they're kind of connected, and then social emotional learning.
So maybe those are the ones to start with, standard-based grading, and maybe that personalized approach, and then in a separate session, the SEL. Any other thoughts from anyone?
Yes, but not about what we should meet about. I'm curious to know, are we planning to meet virtually on this? And it wouldn't be broadcast on YouTube. It would just be us learning. Any thoughts on that? I know Megan would prefer that we would meet virtually, right?
Right. I can't even come into the schools right now. So
Yeah.
virtually is going to be my vote.
Or we could do a combination, right?
Okay.
Because we could, if people wanted to come in, they could come in and then we could just stream we could stream the presentation and learning while, so we could do both. Somebody break into the song "The Best of Both Worlds," Hannah Montana.
I don't even know what that
Sorry.
is.
Holy crap, you're old.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
But I think that's a good idea to kind of do it hybrid. Just like when our students are on quarantine at home. So if Megan can't come in, but other people would rather meet in person, then
mean so
like,
that our
if
parents
Megan and I are
understand?
at home, we could still be there live, but virtually.
Will parents be able to interact that are virtual?
Sure, yeah, because you
Yeah.
could either interact via chat or you could turn your microphone on. We're just sharing the screen, the presentation. So yeah.
So whoever's presenting would have their laptop just up near them, kind of like we do now, right? And be able to interact that way.
Yes.
Good ideas. Okay, date? Or wait, did we want to add more thoughts about what we should meet about? All right. Then I will
I think just, yeah, the one we talked about. Got too many screens up here. The standard-based grading. And is it just that, or can we lump that in with the personalized approach?
Sure, I think those topics are definitely connected, so we could do something on both.
Okay.
I think so too.
So yeah, as far as dates, it's going to be tricky, right? Because we're starting to get into like holiday season. I guess not so much this year.
We could shoot for something in January.
When is the next community council occurrence? January 7th?
I'm glad that you brought that up, because speaking of community councils,
We're
I
not
need
to
to-
number 5 yet.
yeah, I don't care. We need to go there. I am in the middle of pursuing a doctoral degree, and I am not going to be able to participate if we keep community councils on Thursdays. Now I know that some of you are you're happy inside at the thought that maybe I won't be able to be here, but
Oh.
It would crush all of our souls.
it would crush
So-
your soul. That's right, Adam. That's exactly
And
right.
we talked with Dee. He was in here the other day, and Dan mentioned this conflict to Dee as well. And since we were already discussing a potential change, right, because of Dee's conflict, we had discussed it last time, and I know that Melissa and also Megan, maybe some others had expressed that, still meeting at 6 was best for them. So the thought was, what if we moved it to a Tuesday, right? Mr.
Yeah.
Hansen, that's when you would have a late night availability.
Yeah, I'm game for whatever time, but unfortunately, I have Tuesday or a Friday. Those are my options. So
I'd say Tuesday is definitely better than Friday.
you don't want to hang out Friday night with me? Come on,
I
Adam.
do, but unfortunately, got other plans.
Okay.
No, yeah, I would say Tuesday probably works better for me, and at least 5:30 because of work. 6 seems to work for most people. I don't know what would work for the rest of you.
Tuesday at 6 sounds good.
Okay. Jenny,
Tuesday
Megan,
at
Sounds good to me.
Bob?
Is good. Can I
For me.
throw in maybe the
Okay.
second week? Instead of doing the first week, we could do second week. Because when I do parent teacher conferences, like last month, I had to miss it. So instead of first week Tuesday, we could do it the second Tuesday if we're looking at changing things.
My
Yes.
unmute button is so delayed, and it's frustrating me. I was gonna say, I think we can definitely look at a different week. I mean, if we're looking at changing the day anyway, I think that's a definite possibility. Who has
Maybe
thoughts on
January
second
12th
week?
for the next occurrence. Any
That's fine.
concerns with January 12th at 6 p.m.?
Not yet.
I motion that we move the meeting occurrence to Tuesday at 6 p.m. the second week of the month.
I second that.
Okay.
Do we want to choose a date for our first workshop now that we have that date squared away?
Yes.
The 28th, if you want to do that on January, the 28th would probably be your next best bet, or the 21st, because then it'd give you another week break before we get to that second Tuesday in February. So I'd say the 21st, or sorry, the 22nd or the 29th of, oh no, I'm in December. Hello. Move the calendar.
I was confused there, Patrick.
Yeah, I was in. Change the calendar. Here we go. So probably the 26th sounds the best in January. If we're gonna do one on the 12th, go to the 26th.
I'd be
Gives you a
good
whole
with the
break.
19th or the 26th.
So that's during parent-teacher conference week.
Is that
I'm anticipating that we will we'll probably still be doing virtual conferences, where with parents having the option to come in. So are we planning on?
I'd be out that week then.
Maybe the 19th.
Are we planning on conducting the workshop in the evening, right?
That would work best for me. During the day is kind of a non-starter. I don't know what others can do.
So we just need to, Ella, what's up? Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I think 6 p.m. We could do the 6 p.m. and then we just need to make sure that nobody scheduled a parent-teacher conference with your child at that time.
Sounds good. So why don't we plan on that? Do we need a formal motion for that one? Okay. So we've got plans for the next occurrence moving into Tuesday. We've got plans for that workshop. I think we're just about out of time. Is there anything else that we need to cover real quick, or should we move the school improvement plan to next time?
So the school improvement plan, we actually won't be following up with the reading goal. Yeah, let's move it to next time. Next time we should be starting our collection of middle of the year, right?
The window will be open, but the window.
So it actually might need to be bumped until February so that we'll have that
Okay.
reading data to show.
Yeah, the middle year reading window closes on January 25th.
Are you doing the goal off of the Dibbles?
So our school improvement plan has Acadian goals, yes. And it's based off of middle of year, and we have cohort group data that we're looking at for first grade through sixth, and then we have a separate goal for kindergarten.
And
You
it's
don't
based
have
on
to-
growth for the
You guys
quarter.
do reading inventory or anything like that?
In the upper grades, we do the reading inventory. But that's not what is written into the school improvement plan.
Okay, so it sounds like we've covered all of the agenda items for tonight. Any final thoughts?
The only thing I was going to ask is I'm being dead serious about getting parents books and things like that. I'd be happy to get anybody that book that I just featured on. I've really enjoyed it. I like to continue reading and learning because it fills my hope for making positive change for our kids. And so, I'd love to get the book for anybody that would like to read it.
If you send me that book, I would read it, Mr. Harris.
I think I'll buy some copies and then we can get it to people.
Yeah, it sounds good. And we could even circulate them so we don't have to buy a bunch of copies. properly sanitized in between, as everything is.
Adam, nobody else wants to share anymore. I don't know about that.
I know, sharing used to be caring. Now it's kind of dangerous. Okay, nothing else. I motion we adjourn. No one's willing to second that?
I second.
All right,
Thanks so much.
cool. Thanks all.
Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate it.